Okay. You know what? Well, we'll go live tomorrow. I'll try to do it live tomorrow. So let me bring the document up. Are you okay, Terry?
Yeah, great.
Stan, do you want to read, or you guys want to read all of this out, or do you want to just go into the work of it?
I can read it. I'm confirmed.
Okay.
I'm trying to make out the says. I recognize the object and the ma, and is that pa? And I'm trying to get the association with
yeah. So where are you at? Are you right here?
No, says. How to say it in Hebrew.
Huh?
Is that a ma?
Where, here?
Yeah, it says, yeah.
Yeah, Amara.
Amara. Okay, so that's a ra at the end.
Yeah, but we would have to go word for word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you guys are unfamiliar with this, it might take too long for me to go through all of this. We'd have a very long video.
Yeah.
So let's just go into the English of it. Is that okay? We go into the English, and then we can move faster. Excuse me, y'all. So remember I mentioned that that the rendering is choppy coming out of the Hebrew. Right. So this right here where the cursor is, this is the workout. By workout, what I mean is that this is written in a style that's more easy to understand, that reads better, that flows better. So here it's choppy, right? But as a translator, so that you can read it, or if you're going to allow other people to read your translation, you would rewrite this in such a way that flows more easily, or flows in a way that's more easily understood in English. Okay? So for example, I'll start with the first line up here. The vision of Obadiah, thus says the Most High. Now notice this is a title, right?
Right.
And this is the Tetragrammaton. Okay? Now, when you look at these, this is not the way these are translated, but we'll get to that this is not the actual Hebraic meaning of these words, but we'll get to that when we get to those words. Concerning Edom, right? So that was pretty clear. A rumor we have heard from the Most High, and an ambassador among the heathen has been sent among the heathen, as ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. So actually this is pretty smooth. So it's not too much to work that out. So here's the way it's worked out. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Most High concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Most High, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and rise up against her in battle. Okay, so that's how we work out or resolve what's written here, okay? All right, so let's deal with this first word here. This first Hebrew word here. First Ibriyath word here, okay? So the transliteration, so the way we will present this, the way you will present it, is as follows. Phoenician Hebrew word. So since you don't know how to pronounce these, you can just read it from the transliteration, right? Hazawana, Hazawana. And then, so next, part of speech, noun, masculine singular construct. 1611 KJV, authorized version, the vision, right? So that's the way they rendered it, the vision. You see that, everybody? Okay, the vision. The gloss is the academic accepted or agreed upon that's translation, short translation of the word. So in the gloss, it says vision of. But notice the 1611 translation team translated it the vision.
Right.
Slight difference, right? The gloss is vision of. The gloss is going to always be more grammatically correct than than whichever translation, whichever version we're considering or comparing it to. The gloss will generally be more grammatically correct. Okay, so we don't have, huh?
That word "the" is not translatable, right? So
Oh
it'd
no,
be
that's
vision.
ata. That's ata. That's not translatable.
Oh, okay.
Right. See, this is a base word. So so Stan, you're right. This is the article. Well, you were thinking this is the article "the," but this is a base word.
Right.
So therefore, it's not the article. But you guys will learn base word and all of this stuff as you progress in the course.
Okay.
Okay. This is very grammar intensive, but the more you do it, the more you see it, the easier it becomes. Is that correct, Linda?
Yes, it is.
Linda, why are you being so quiet? You got to speak up.
No, yes, it is.
Let us know you're here.
I'm here. I'm just not feeling well. I'm coming down with something.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. So, so that's the order that you will present. Okay. Every word will present in that same exact order. So we'll read base word. You'll read the base word. You'll again read the Hebrew word. Okay. This is how to speak it. Okay, so now in class, the expectation is for you to have already committed these to memory. Okay, so that when you go to this line, you can just read it off. But some of them look alike, and it's okay if you get like the R and the P mixed up or whatever. I mean, I do it too, so it's no big deal. The thing that you need to know is that you can do it, right? But for now, you can just rely on this. So it's actually a skill to be able to switch from the Hebrew to the English and not miss a beat. That's a skill, okay? So then we have our Strong's number. Strong's numbers are, Strong's numbers represent or are an index that each Phoenician Hebrew word in the KJV is indexed to. So each Phoenician Hebrew word in the KJV was assigned a number, and they call that number a Strong's number, right? So in other words, it's an index, okay? It's an index. This is very important information. And you can use this index to go into the Strong's encyclopedia and pull a word up, right? But the words are not organized in a way that's easy for you to be able to use it or understand, okay? And then in Strong's, every word in the Bible is not in Strong's, okay? So with Strong's, you have to learn how to use it. You have to learn how to, when you look a word up, you have to understand what it is you're looking at, okay? But that's another story. So this next row here says from Strong's, H means Hebrews, 2372. So in other words, if you go into your Strong's concordance into the Hebrew section and you look at 2372, you'll find this word, this base word. It's clear, Terry? Do you know how to use Strong's already, Terry? I'm mute, please.
I'm mute when my dogs start barking, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. So we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this.
Mm-mm.
All right, so thank you. So when it says from, this means what? The origin, where the word derives from. So this is etymology, right? The origin of words, okay? So the meaning here is a site in parentheses, it's mentally, right?
Mhm.
And then i.e. a dream, revelation, or oracle. So I know a lot of people have been out of school for a long time. So let's look up what i.e. means. Shara! Oh, this is, that's my YouTube. I looked at my screen and I saw Shara. So let's see. Let me get off that YouTube page. Shara's at work. She told me she's at work. That's why she's not here. Okay. Hold on. Little thing, these little things mean a lot. Oh, let's look at this one. We can kill two birds with one stone. E.g. versus I.e. E.g. and Terry, would you like to read, please?
Okay, E.g. versus I.e. What's the difference?
Yeah.
I.e. and E.g. are both Latin abbreviations. E.g. stands for exempli gratia, which means for example. I.e. is the abbreviation for id est and means in other words. Remember that
Okay.
Okay, just that part?
Well, you can continue.
Okay, remember that E is for example, parentheses E.g., and that I and E are the first letters of in essence, an alternative English translation of I.e.
Right. So these are different meanings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words means stated differently.
Mm-hmm.
Stated differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, e.g., means for example. So these things are important for us to have at the top of our mind when we read. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So i.e. a dream, right? i.e. a dream. So i.e. is what? Remember what it said?
Stated differently.
Very good. So stated differently, a dream.
In other words. Mm-hmm.
Or in other words, a dream, revelation, or oracle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're going through presentation. Brown Driver Briggs is a lexicon, and Strong's, the Strong's Concordance is also a lexicon. A lexicon is a Hebrew dictionary, that's all.
Right.
Okay, but it can be a Greek dictionary too. This dictionary right here is what's used in academia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has a lot of scholarship inside of this book dealing with word origins and the relationship between Phoenician Hebrew words and words in other countries. Okay, let me show you an example of it. Let me show you an example of it. Give me 1 second, please. All right. Give you an example. So this is Strong's number 2377. I don't know what it is. Here's your Brown Driver Briggs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's presenting the modern Hebrew. Of course, they put everything in modern Hebrew. And if you were to go through this, well, this is an online version, so it's different than the paperback version. The online versions of everything are summaries.
Oh, okay.
Of the hardcover, of the paperback or hardcover, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So usually you'll see the word, let's say in different languages, whatever word, other language that word appears in, you'll see it and with its spelling and meaning there.
Mm-hmm.
And other citations associated with that word. So this is used in academia. Okay. So I'm trying to find something where it shows another country. So they don't have any other, in this one, there's no other languages mentioned. But if you, we'll get to one when you'll see that it'll mention some other language. And so you see all of this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a page. These I don't know what this represents, but you can look this up
Mm-hmm.
and find out what this is keyed to. Probably some document,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there's all kinds, I don't remember all of them, but there's all kinds of these citations. But there's a page where you just have to go and check it, and it'll give you the information that you need to understand what this is, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is used in academia. So this is the Brown Driver Briggs, and this is the Strong's. Remember, these are abbreviated. Concordance, just this is Strong's Lexicon. Strong's Concordance is Strong's Lexicon, okay? So now this also gives you the NAS and the Brown Driver Briggs, okay? So let's go back to the document. You know, this class is worth taking just so that people who are interested, they say they're reading and studying scripture, but they don't know how to use any of the tools.
Right.
So this class is good just for that.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Brown Driver Briggs, okay? Meaning of the word, so A, B, C, D, right? So in the abbreviation, this specifies or clarifies, right? Vision in an ecstatic state. Okay, so that might be a prophet having a vision.
Mm-hmm.
A vision in night. Okay, so that might be a dream. You guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Vision, oracle, prophecy, right? So divine communication. See, in parentheses is specifying, telling you what it is. Vision as title of book or prophecy. Okay. Now these lexicons or dictionaries, they're etymological dictionaries. So let's go take a look at that. What etymological means. Etymology. All right, and then after that, we'll start going into the words, okay? Jerry, would you like to read?
Sure.
Or let's do it from here. Can you see over there? Can you see that?
Hold on, let me move the.
You can see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, let me go back. Here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Can you read, Terry, please?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Etymology is the study of the history of words. By extension, the phrase the etymology of a word means the origin of a particular word.
All right, origin of a word, okay. So over on this side, we see the study of the origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
So when they talk about the way the words' meaning have been changed throughout history, in modern times, we would call that what? Connotative and denotative meanings.
Okay.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
This is significant. This is one of the ways that they really, really rule over us. Okay? So let's look at what that means. Stan, do you want to read, Stan? You're muted, Stan.
Okay. Of a word or expression signifying or suggestive of an associative or secondary meaning in addition to the primary meaning. His singing voice can be best described by a cognitive word, velvet.
Yeah, the connotative word, velvet. So what is this saying to us? This is saying that they added a second meaning to a word, to its primary meaning. So what's the primary meaning? This denotative. What's
It's the main meaning.
right, man? Not including feelings and ideas that people may connect with that word.
Right.
Okay, so when we deal with etymology, we're dealing with denotative meanings, the original meaning of words. Okay, now what they're telling us is what? Words have been changed, new meanings have been added to them that what? That deal with feelings and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionalized words, right?
Right.
These original meanings have been altered and emotion has been injected. So this is all part of social engineering. Using words to change what we perceive and what we think, and then also to hide meaning. Okay.
Mm.
So here's connotative again, signifying or suggestive of an associative or secondary meaning, right? So that's the whole purpose of having an etymological dictionary. So you can go back and get the denotative meaning, okay? Anybody have any thoughts or comments? No? All right. So let's go back to, this is really, really important stuff, scholars, because that's how they rule us. They have, it's a good idea of connotative and denotative, legal ease. Legal ease is a good example. When we hear legal words, terminology, we think it's everyday English, right? But when you walk into that courtroom, or if you sign some document, those words are going to have an absolutely different meaning than what we thought, right? And because of that, you'll lose or go to jail, wind up paying a lot of money. It's going to cost you significantly. That's the whole reason why they do it, okay? All right, so, Stan, you know what, Stan, my apologies. I forgot to get the permission of the older man to begin the class. So can I get your permission to begin?
Yeah, yes, you have my permission to begin.
Oh, okay, so thank you. That's the Hebraic custom. And we need to go back to our original customs and tradition to show respect, okay? Especially in today's world. So Stan, would you like to begin us off with the presentation of this Hebrew word?
Yeah. Phoenician Hebrew word, hazawana. Transliteration is hazawana. Ha, za, wa, na. Part of speech is a noun, masculine, singular construct. 1611 KJV, AV, authorized version, the vision. The gloss is the vision of.
Okay, so this is a construct. This is a grammatical term. Let me find it here in the book. We're on page 39, y'all. So let me see if I can find it. The meaning is here somewhere in the book. Construct state. Well, let me go back. We already into an hour plus hour. But if you guys want to know what that is, what constructs means, it's in the book, okay?
What's the title of this book?
When the book is finished, it'll be the OBADIAH book.
Oh, okay. Right. This is the book you're writing.
Right. Right.
I thought it was a book that's already in existence. Okay.
Well, yeah, this is also in the, I can read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14, the blessings book.
Oh, okay.
And it might be in the the I Can Read, Deuteronomy chapter 28, I Can Read book.
Is that class still going on?
Yeah, that class is still going on. That's
Is it too
open
late to
enrollment. Huh?
Is it too late to start?
No, you can start. It's open enrollment, and you get 4 weeks. You get 4 weeks free, right? So person can come in, and people are going to learn a tremendous amount, and you know. But yeah, you can come in. It's Saturdays, every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every
Alright.
Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Send me a link.
Okay, yeah, I'll
For this
send you the
Saturday.
link. I'll
Yeah.
send you the link. I forgot where we're at. Oh, so so for part of speech, if you wanted to know what construct means, you would just turn to the page that deals with the construct state. You could get the understanding of what that means. Okay. Also, masculine, singular, and noun. All of these definitions for the Hebraic meaning are in the books. Okay. All right. So, what's of interest to us as translators is how each of these teams rendered this word. See, how did they render it, and then why? Okay, and then why? Because remember, what are we looking for? We're looking for what's been added or lost in the gap. Remember yesterday we talked about going from the concrete Hebraic meaning into the abstract Greek meaning. Remember that? So this is between the gap. You guys follow me? So what we're trying to do when we look at these is determine if they are accurate or how accurate the translation is, right? Did they stick to the concrete meaning? 100%, 50%, 0%, where are they on the scale, right? And then if they didn't, the issue becomes why, right? Why didn't they? And why is important because of what, Terry? We discussed it yesterday.
Why is important because?
Why is this important? I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. How many different religions are there?
Several, lots of different religions, and it goes back to whatever their political reasons were or what they wanted to get across to the people at that time to continue to control people.
Right. So now how does that apply to this discussion here?
Pretty much
go ahead.
I say pretty much the same. It's just showing us how they use the word to get across their own doctrine or
That's right. That's where the information is. That's where the information is. It's between the gap, if you will, right? So this is going to reveal where they input their doctrine, where they injected their doctrine,
right?
Or where they participated with that whatever social engineering agenda was at hand with government and the Catholic Church.
Wow.
Right. It's going to be explained right here. And in some cases, in some cases, it's part of speech, right? Like we looked at earlier with the hermaphrodite. Y'all see how these mechanics work now? We can use part of speech to also identify that. Okay. All right. So that was excellent. So Stan, let's continue, please.
Okay. Base word. Hazawana. Strong's numbers 2377. From the Strong's H2370 2. A sight mentally, i.e., in other words,
Mhm.
a dream, a revelation, or oracle.
Okay, excellent, very good. So whenever we see from,
Mhm.
this is telling us what? The origin of this word. So if we go to Strong's number, we look up 2372, we'll get a meaning. Okay, that meaning is going to be concrete. It's going to be connotative or denotative, Terry.
Connotative.
We're looking at an etymological dictionary.
Mhm. Strong's.
It's going to be denotative.
Okay.
Yeah, all the words in Strong's,
Mhm.
all the words in the Strong's and the Brown Driver Briggs are going to be denotative.
Okay. Okay.
Words here can be connotative.
Okay.
Also, words here can be connotative.
Mhm.
How do we know? Well, we know because when we studied the grammar and everything that's in this book, all the concepts and principles in this book, when you study this out,
Mhm.
you'll be able to identify whether the word is connotative or denotative.
Okay.
Okay? So if it's connotative, we know that what? It's part of social engineering agenda,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
It's not, in other words, it's not sticking to the original meaning of the word. They changed it. Do you see that, Stan?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now, when we talk about from, the origin of a word from Strong's H2372, this has to do, what page, we're on page 39? This has to do with, in the free class that I teach, one of the most important things that you're going to learn is the Hebrew root word system. Okay? One of the most important concepts that there is to know is that every word, so we have a root word, okay? Every word that's made from a root word will have a similar meaning to that root word. It'll have a similar meaning to the root word. Okay, so just imagine a tree. The roots are in the ground. Okay, the roots are in the ground, and then the trunk is out of the ground. Then it has branches and leaves. Okay, so imagine the roots are these root words, and the leaves are the words. Okay, the leaves on the tree are the words. Can you guys get that image in your mind?
Mhm. Mhm.
So they're from the same tree. They have almost everything in common, right?
Mhm.
So it's the same with a root word. It has many words that are made from it, or many leaves on the tree, right?
Mhm.
So all of those words have a similar meaning to the root word. That's an extremely important and useful concept. So what does it mean? So this word here may have 4, 5, 6, 7 words that are made from this base word here. This might be I don't know what part of speech this is. It might be a verb, right? It might be, I don't know. But every word that is derived from it has a similar meaning to it. Okay? So if you go into a lexicon and you look at all the words that derive from this word, and you look at their meanings, and then you can begin to see what the idea or what the associations are between that word. In the free class, I have examples of this. In the free class, I have examples of this. So those meanings would be based upon cultural context of how we use certain tools or things like that. I know I'm talking in a way that might be a little bit hard to understand, but you got to come to the free class to get that information. Okay, if you're in that free class, Stan, can you short a book, please? The 911 Ivory Yacht Rescue. So if you come to this class, then you'll get all of this information. I have I got a slide. Matter of fact, let me see if I could. Y'all want to see that, or you want to move on?
I'm good. I mean, we can, yeah.
There's interesting information in here.
Mhm.
Foundation information
Mhm,
that
mhm.
you need.
That's
So
one black and white, right?
your international edition is black and white.
Okay.
So when I teach the class, when I teach that class, I
Mhm.
show you what I'm talking about right here, and it
Okay.
becomes very simple. But this is where cultural context comes into play,
Mhm.
right? How our ancestors used certain objects, tools, technology, so on and so forth. If you know that information, then you understand what these words mean, and you can make a very good determination as to the quality of these renderings, okay?
Mhm.
So we would use that skill in that way. All right, so let's move to Brown Driver Briggs. So this is pretty straightforward, right?
Mhm.
Pretty straightforward. So now let's do some investigation, okay? Let's do some investigation. What we want to do is determine the quality of what? Of these renderings,
Yeah.
right? That's what's at issue. There appears to be nothing really here, right?
Mhm.
Seems to be pretty straightforward,
Mhm.
right? A sight, a dream, and then we compare that to Brown Driver Briggs, a vision, a vision, a vision, okay? So now let's look, let's take this further. Let's go into some real heavy duty study. Were you guys here? Oh, you got Terry, were you here the first day?
That. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were here. Yeah, you were here. You were here.
Mhm.
Remember what we did? Let's go back. Remember what we did with Obadiah, the vision? Remember what we did with the vision in Bible Hub?
Yeah.
Let's do it again. So now let's demonstrate how to use this tool. Now you remember, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so Terry, since you remember, you will be the one who presents this.
Oh my goodness.
So you had practice, you had a whole class of practice, okay? So introduce us to where we're at, explain what you're doing what you're doing before you do it, because there are going to be people who watch this video, tomorrow or years from now,
Mhm.
and you need to orient them. So go ahead and teach.
Oh wow. Okay. So we're at Obadiah 1 and 1. We're in the Strong's. Is it Strong's Concordance?
Okay, so look here.
No, we're in Bible Hub. So we're going to compare the different versions of this chapter. So we're starting with the New International Version. And it says,
Terry, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Linda?
Yeah.
Please facilitate Terry, okay?
Linda's asleep.
Linda?
Yes.
Well, are you feeling okay to do it or no?
No, my throat is sore. I think I'm coming down with a cold. The weather's
Ah,
changing
okay.
over here.
Okay, okay, sorry about that. So try to relax. Okay, so what we mean by facilitate, because Linda knows all of this information, she would be the one who directs you and questions you to make sure that you present everything sufficiently and correctly. And if you have a question, you would ask it to Linda, but Linda's not feeling well, so I'll be the one to do it. But this is how we conduct our classes.
That's
Okay.
fine.
This is how so one day, Terry, you will be the one facilitating. Stan will facilitate somebody. This is how we learn at a high level. Okay.
Okay.
So continue.
Okay. So we're going to look at each of the verses in the different translations and then go back and try to work them out. So the New International Version for Obadiah 1:1 says the vision of Obadiah. This is what the sovereign, what do you say?
For the sake of time, since we're only dealing with the first word, let's deal only with the first sentence.
First sentence, okay.
For the sake of time, yeah.
Okay.
But you're correct, you're correct. In class, we would read this whole thing out.
Okay. So New International Version, the vision of Obadiah, but in New Living Translation says this is what the vision, this is the vision that the sovereign, what do you say?
When you see this, sovereign basically means right to rule. When you see this in capital, it's tetragrammaton. So what we say in this course is Most High.
Okay, okay. All right, so this is what this is the vision that the Most High revealed to Obadiah concerning the land of Edom. The English Standard Version says the vision of Obadiah. The Berean Study Bible, this is the vision of Obadiah. New American Standard, the vision of Obadiah. King James Version, the vision of Obadiah. King James Bible, the vision of Obadiah. Christian Standard Bible, the vision of Obadiah. The Contemporary English Version is the Most High gave Obadiah a message about Edom, and this is what we heard.
Now, I want to ask you a question. What's the difference between a message and a vision?
A message is something that's spoken out. A vision, like you said, is not. The vision is more abstract, right?
Right. So now explain what to the audience. Remember, there are going to be people who are watching you. What do you mean by abstract and concrete? And where? And first, where did you learn that?
From you. From studying the Hebrew scriptures.
Right. You learned it at Zion Law School, right?
Right. Zion Law School. There you go.
A day or two ago.
Right.
So now, when you said that concrete, what do you mean by concrete?
Concrete, basically, it deals with the senses, so you can touch it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you can see it. Touch, taste, smell, see, and hear it, basically.
Yes, that's correct. And how does that relate to our ancestors?
That's how they operated. That's how
right, that was
concrete.
Very good. That was their worldview, right? Their paradigm.
Right.
And what's significant about a paradigm?
A paradigm basically is how you view or your perception of the world.
And what are the limitations associated with that?
Limitations associated with your paradigm is
in other words, what does it limit? What does it put boundaries around?
I'm at a loss here.
So what we're doing, this is question answer style of teaching. The deepest level of learning takes place when taught in this fashion. So essentially, I'm giving you an oral exam, right? When we do this, it's an oral examination. These are the most difficult examinations.
Right.
So I will ask you another question because I know you know.
So what
How
does
it relate to perception? How does paradigm relate to perception? Let's imagine the person is inside of a house. That was what we used yesterday. If they're inside of the house, that's their worldview. What's going to happen when they walk outside of the house?
Oh, their perception or their paradigm opens up.
Yes. So your paradigm limits what you perceive in the world, what information your brain will process, what you're able to understand.
Okay.
Right? That's limited by your paradigm.
Okay.
So just as in a person who, if he grew up and he never left the house, right? He thinks the whole world is just what he sees in his house.
Right.
But when he walks outside that front door, a whole new world opens up. So when you change your paradigm, a whole new world opens up because you're able to perceive more stimuli from your environment.
Okay.
Okay, now what about abstract? Excellent, that was very good.
Okay.
Abstract.
Abstract is just basically something that you deal with. Nobody else can see it or touch it or feel it or anything like that. It's just, it can pretty much be anything to someone.
So where does it take place?
In your mind?
In the mind. Now I have a hard question.
Okay.
This is for Stan too. How does this all relate to reality? How does it relate to reality? That's a difficult question, right?
Yeah, sure is.
So let's take a look at the word abstract. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Stan, would you like to read, please?
Yeah, abstract, adjective. Trying to see, an existing or thought or as an idea, but not having a physical or concrete existing.
Very good. Physical or concrete existence means what? Things you can experience with your senses,
Yes,
like Terry said. So these are things that occur that you can only experience in your mind.
Or as an idea.
Conceptual, theoretical. Do you remember this, Stan, from the class? We went into this real heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, speculative, hypothetical. So these are all theories in academic, right? Where you learn these types of theories. Okay. So this is, whose world paradigm is this, Terry? Is this Hebraic or Greek?
Greek.
Excellent. Excellent. So now when we go back, let's take a look at the document to draw your attention to something. So when we look at these renderings, the writings were initially in concrete, and then they were translated and rendered into what? Abstract.
Abstract.
Right? Rendered, translated, rendered into abstract. Okay? So how authentic is the abstract to the concrete? There's a gap, right?
Yes.
That's what we're investigating and trying to discover, determine. Is it more clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the document. So the question again is, how does this relate to reality? How does it relate to reality? Okay, so let's look it up. All right, Stan, please.
Reality. It's a noun. The word or the state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to idealistic or notional ideas or things.
Okay, so let me find a better definition for you. Okay, so I have it in my presentation, so we don't have to go like search. I'll show you the etymological reason somewhere in here. Let me share the screen. All right, so somewhere in here, y'all. Oh, here we go. So, Stan, you want to go through this, please?
Yeah. An abstract Greek paradigm. Abstract is a derivative from the Latin extractus.
Right. Abstract is derived from.
Derived. Right.
So now we're talking about etymology, right? Comes from here, abstractus. Okay, so continue.
drawn away, okay. To drag away, detach, pull away, divert, detach from reality.
So can you put that in your own words, Stan?
Yes, is to be taken away from your own thoughts and ideas.
Is it reality or detached from reality?
Oh, it's detached from reality.
Do y'all understand how significant that is?
Mhm.
Detached from reality.
Mhm.
If a person is deemed to be detached from reality, what's going to happen to that person in this society?
Institution.
Yeah.
They're institutionalized and put him on meds and everything, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They say he's crazy. He's not dealing with reality well. Okay, so let's continue, Stan.
Okay. In philosophy, withdrawn or separated from material objects or practical matters, opposed to concrete.
Mhm.
So in your own words, Stan, please.
Basically, disillusioned, confused,
Yes.
not
Material
not
objects are those objects that you experience through your senses or only in your mind?
yeah.
That's a question for everybody. Material objects are things that you experience with your senses or only in your mind? Terry?
And with your senses.
Right. So material, anything that's material, you can experience with your senses.
Mhm.
Right.
So philosophy, the definition, are things that are withdrawn or separated from material things. In other words, these things occur in the mind.
Right.
Philosophy is abstract.
Mhm.
It's the opposite to concrete,
Mhm.
right? Now, here are examples of philosophy. Stan, continue, please.
Theology, theory, philosophy, metaphysics, imagination, ideal.
Right. Now, why is ideal? That's interesting, right? That's interesting. Why is ideal there? Is there ever an ideal situation in life? No, we never see the ideal, right?
Today.
That's why they call it the ideal, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's called the ideal. So this is only in the mind. This is a theory, okay? In essence, it's a state that's ideal, but you never see it, okay? But it's used for to perform certain thought functions or analysis, right? You look at the ideal state.
Mhm.
All right, so continue, please. So Stan, what can you say here about theology being abstract?
It's all based on theory, one's own ideas.
Yes, based on
What
we
one
saw
can
what the Pope did
imagine.
with that, right?
Mhm.
Huh?
We saw in yesterday's class what the Pope and the Catholic Church did with their theology. Unum Sanctum, Doctrine of Discovery, right? I think we also talked about Secret Treaty of Verona, but there's so much more into this theology. That's just the basis of Western society, right?
Mhm.
Whenever you have religion, you're going to have a man at the head of it.
Mhm.
Yes, and then also all the different versions of the Bible are related to their theology, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Their influences, their experience.
Yes. Now,
Or
what about
even
theory?
what they want to get across.
What about theory? What can we say about theory? Is theory real or is it something that's right? It's just something that occurs in the mind, right?
Mhm.
Right.
We just looked at philosophy. Metaphysics is the same way. Mental things, right? They
Right.
call it spirituality and whatnot. Imagination. in the mind and ideal. So continue, Stan, please.
Ideals cannot be experienced by senses.
Right.
Out of reality.
Abstract things cannot be experienced by the senses. So therefore they are what? Outside of reality.
Outside of reality. Rationalize, justify, lie, deceive, steal, cheat.
So this is what an abstract paradigm facilitates, right? Rationalization would be like the theory of evolution, where they said
Right.
we're animals, right?
Right.
Enslave us, took all our stuff. Then they had the nerve to say what? They said we don't feel pain.
Oh, wow.
The way white people do. We're less sensitive to pain. So that's why they justify a lot of the torture that they did to us, like performing surgeries, you know, with no painkiller.
Right.
Cutting people's genitals out, taking your children, right? Take your children, steal your children, because we don't feel pain. So they're able to rationalize to accomplish what? Remember what it said in the secret treaty of Verona? To accomplish their goals. They could be just as cruel as they want, right? To justify. So we see justification through their sociology and political objectives, right? Well, the black people this and the black people that, the statistics say this, the statistics say that, right? They're super predators.
Right.
It allows them to lie,
right.
deceive, steal, and cheat, right? Because you can think up anything and justify it. But now, in contrast to what's concrete, if it's concrete, I can see it, right? I can experience it with my senses, and you cannot lie to me because I see it, unless I'm a fool, right? but you see, with concrete, it's either my house, it's my land, or it's not, right? And you cannot justify or anything like that to tell me why you're going to take it. That has to be done through what? Abstract means, or you just kill people, right? But there's no way to justify that. Y'all see the difference? So with our paradigm, things are black and white. It is or it is not. Okay, with the abstract, you can do all kind of mental gymnastics and justify it. So why y'all being so quiet? What's going on?
Listening, learning.
Okay, so let's go to the concrete Hebraic paradigm. Stan?
All right. Reality. The concrete Hebraic paradigm. It deals with reality, everything we experience through our five senses, our sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Things that are concrete exist in material or physical form, real or solid, opposite of abstract.
Okay. You have any commentary you want to give us on that?
You know, it makes me think, like, I say things like my house, my mortgage, but is it really mine?
Yeah.
Because as long as I live in it, I'm gonna be paying somebody for it. Even after the mortgage paid, I'm still gonna be paying taxes.
Yep.
So I'm still gonna be paying for what I think is mine. And what is actually mine, it comes to you don't have to pay for it no more if it's yours.
That's right.
You buy it and it's yours.
Right. That's
but
right.
not here.
So they use concept. They use abstract and connotate. They use abstract concepts to do that, right?
Right.
Okay. Very good. So these people are what? They're not dealing with reality well. Their paradigm doesn't deal with reality well. Y'all see that? That's why they don't fit here on Earth. Okay? which is shown by their behavior. So here's an example, and then we'll move back to the, are you guys clear with this? Can we move
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me share the document. Terry, you sleepy? So all of that, all of that we deal with right here where these words are highlighted. Okay? We deal with all of that right there. And the way that that is derived, the way we make an evaluation or assessment of these renderings is through the Strong's and through the Brown Driver Briggs meanings. Okay, so this is where we perform our analysis and make a judgment. Okay, so now let's go back to that document where we were. Oh, we were on the internet. Yeah, we were on the internet. Okay, so let's go back to your work. Now, using those concepts, Terry, can you now explain what a message is, whether it's concrete or abstract, and why? In the class that we do a test, I would ask you to perform the test. Okay? But I won't do it now because this is a mini class.
Okay.
So is a message concrete or abstract, and why?
A message is more concrete because you can hear it.
Yes.
It's given out, so it was heard.
Okay. Well, can you see a message?
You can't see it. You can't touch it.
You can or cannot?
You can. Well, you can see a message if it's written down.
Right. Yes.
Right. Yeah, you can see a message if it's written.
Okay, good. Very good. So this is concrete. What about a vision? Can you see a vision?
I can't see your vision, no. If I had a vision,
where would it take place?
In
Inside
my
of your, so you cannot experience with your five senses.
No.
Okay. Continue.
For the vision?
Yeah, is that abstract or concrete?
That's abstract.
Okay, so is that Greek or is that Hebrew?
That's more Greek.
That's more Greek. So we can say what? We can strike this out, right? Do you see that, Stan?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So here, what would you say the quality of this translation is?
Abstract.
The quality. Does
we can strike that out as well.
What would you say it's good, medium? Would you say it's poor, medium, or good?
It's poor because it's still dealing with the abstract.
Very good, very good, very good. So let's continue. So we were at message and now we're at the good news translation. Let's continue, please.
Okay, this is the prophecy of Obadiah, what the Most High said about the nation of Edom.
Okay, so now this is a prophecy.
Oh, wow.
Is this concrete or abstract?
Prophecy.
Well, let's get the dictionary definition of how we're using prophecy, how they're using prophecy here. Okay, continue.
Okay. Prophecy is the noun of prediction.
Okay, now let's look at the similars.
Prediction, forecast, prognostication, prognosis, divination,
Augury. Let's see how to pronounce that.
Augury.
Yeah.
augury, a sign of what will happen in the future, an omen.
Okay.
So
prophecy, is that concrete?
I think that would be more abstract.
Yeah, I agree with you. So would you keep it or strike it?
I would strike it.
Okay, very good.
Another vision of Obadiah, I would strike it because it's abstract.
Very good. But where's that coming from?
Holman's Christian Standard Bible.
Okay.
The International Standard Version is Obadiah's vision. It's still abstract. The Net Bible, the vision that Obadiah saw.
Now, what's interesting about this? Give us a nuance. What nuance is present here?
It's saying that Obadiah saw it, so it's something he could actually see.
Right. In this sense, it would be what?
Concrete.
It would be concrete. But the interesting question is that what they really mean? Did somebody else see it too? Was he looking at a hologram that everybody could see, or
Right.
only him?
Only him.
Was it in his head?
Was it? Yeah. Right.
See, because if Obadiah saw it with his eyes, other people should have been able to see it too. Because you're experiencing it with you're experiencing external stimuli,
Okay.
right? From your environment, and your eyes are receiving that stimulus. A vision
So that's
in the
leading to
head.
speculation, is it?
Go ahead, Stan.
I say that's almost leading to speculation where we have to assume that he wasn't alone.
Right, and that's the problem with this, right?
Right. I mean, it goes to the same thing.
Yes. Yeah, so we see these, this is problematic, right? So this, you don't know. Unless, like
It is
Stan said,
different
you
now.
assume.
There's a know the difference of it, but it's still a lot of ambiguity with it.
So there's very good observation of that nuance. So let's continue, Terry.
Okay, New Heart English Bible says the vision of Obadiah. A Faithful Version says the vision of Obadiah. God's Word Translation said this is the vision of Obadiah. JPS Tanakh, 1917, the vision of Obadiah. New American Standard, 1977, the vision of Obadiah. King James 2000 Bible, the vision of Obadiah. American King James Version, the vision of Obadiah. American Standard, the vision of Obadiah. The Brenton Septuagint translation, the vision of Obadiah. Okay. The Dewey Reams Bible, the vision of Abdias. The Darby Bible translation, the vision of Obadiah. The English Revised Version, the vision of Obadiah. Webster's Bible translation, the vision of Obadiah. World English Bible, the vision of Obadiah. And Young's Literal Translation, thus said the Lord thus said, what do you say again instead of that word?
The Most High, just the Most High.
Okay, thus said the Most High to Edom, a report we have heard from the Most High, and an ambassador among nations was sent. Rise ye, let us rise against her for battle.
So give us an analysis of what's taking place here with the Young's literal translation and all the other translations that we read.
All the other translations are more abstract, saying a vision, even though it wasn't anything that, could run through the five senses. But with Young's literal, it's saying that something was said, so it had to be heard. And
very good. And if it's heard, it's what?
Concrete.
Very good.
Okay.
Stan, do you see that?
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent, Terry. Now, what significant change in the meaning of this has taken place?
In Young's literal?
Yes. First of all, in the other versions, it said a vision was given to Obadiah. Right? But
and
what is it saying in Young?
Yeah, this one is saying he spoke directly to Edom.
Yes. Significant, right? Do you agree, Stan?
Yeah. Yeah.
So using these skills, we're able to determine that this message was given to. If he said it, it was a message, right? it was given to Edom.
Mm-hmm.
Thus said the Most High to Edom.
Mm-hmm.
So this we struck out because it's abstract.
Right.
So who was being spoken to? Look at the next sentence.
Edom.
Edom.
Right, this what was said about Edom.
Mm-hmm.
So the only issue is who it was said, right? Who he said it to. Well, we know it wasn't Obadiah, right?
Right.
So when we look at these other words in the verse, this will jump in front of us off the page. Okay, so this is actually a pretty good example
Mm-hmm.
of the usefulness of what we're doing, right?
Them two are closely related,
Mm-hmm.
these two, these last two, except for this part here.
Mm-hmm.
But the use of this word and the use of this word, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I would, Terry, to
Mhm.
finish this analysis off, which Bible translation has the best or the most Hebraic meaning, preserves the Hebraic meaning of all of these? Which one preserves the Hebraic meaning best, in your opinion?
Hmm. Out of these four that I'm looking
Yeah.
at bottom here.
Yes, yes. So you can eliminate all the abstract to
Mm-hmm.
reduce, yeah. So which one, in your opinion? So the only other abstract was where it said message, right? Where is that?
Yeah, it's up
A
top.
little bit. Mm-hmm.
So let's review that one.
Right there.
So,
Very English.
Christian.
so this is what the Most High gave Obadiah,
A
a
message.
message about Edom. So did he give it to Obadiah or did he give it to Edom? That's a question. We'll find this out as we go through the document, right?
Mm-hmm.
So contemporary English version is saying that the message was given to Obadiah about Edom. But Young's is saying it was given to
Edom. Mm-hmm.
given to Edom. This is thus the Most High said to Edom.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So anybody who says that the scripture wasn't changed, right, or that it's pristine, pure, preserved, they're wrong. Because when we
Right.
start looking at this, we can see how the translators change things,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Okay. So is that clear, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. The analytical process is clear?
Yeah, we know that from Psalms 46, how Shakespeare signed his name. In
What
the
does it
scripture
say? Psalms 46, what does it say?
Yeah, Psalms 46.
Mm-hmm.
During the translation of the King James Bible, Shakespeare was one of the scholars,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he put,
and he
yeah.
signed his name in that chapter.
He did what?
Let's take a look at it. Psalms 46.
Okay.
Can you pull it up there?
Yep. Psalms 46.
And people want to say it's coincidental, but I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did it intentionally.
You're supposed to be trying all kinds of little tricks.
Yeah. Okay, this is Psalms 46. If you count down 46 words,
Mm-hmm.
the word shake will appear.
Do you know which verse it is? Oh, let me I know, I'll find it.
Yeah, I don't know what verse, I just counted, but the word shake appears. in the King
How
James.
is it spelled? You know, do I need to go to the KJV? Yeah, I need to go to, I'm in a different Bible.
Yeah, you need the KJV. Got to have the KJV. Yeah. Shake.
Oh,
Here it is.
wow.
Okay, now you don't count Salah. Now go to the bottom and count up
Do you
46.
see it in verse 4, verse 3?
Yeah. Shake.
So
go to the bottom of it,
all
to the
right.
last verse,
You
and
cannot.
count from
I
refuge
I see
46
it.
words.
I see it.
In verse 11?
Spear.
Is up in both verse 9.
Yep.
Oh, here.
Mm-hmm.
So the 46th chapter of Psalms,
Mm-hmm.
when he did it, he was 46 years old. The 46th word from the top is shake. The 46th word from the bottom is spear.
Mm,
He signed it, and he did it unaware.
mm, mm,
That's how clever he was.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how deviant he was. That's how much of a subtle nature he was.
Mm-hmm.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
He signed his work. And that people say that's
man.
coincidental. I mean, the 46th chapter, the 46th word from the top, the 46th word from the bottom. I mean, even if he wasn't 46 years old, it's still.
Mm-hmm. Right. This seems too much of a
So
coincidence.
it just takes me back to Jeremiah 8 and 8, which
Yeah.
right on the page. What the scribes did.
So let's see.
Now, I don't think no other Bible does it. No other translation did it. He did it in the King James.
So that was verse 4, right? Let me see.
Verse 3.
Spirit, the shake was verse 3. Okay, so let's see. You guys see my screen?
Yeah.
So let's see. 2, 3. Shake. Let's see.
Oh, it's there?
To quake, shake. To quake, shake. Okay. So that means that's the Hebrew meaning, shake. The other one was the last one, right?
Yeah, it was
And it was
the
verse
ninth.
8 or was it 9?
Verse 9. Mm-hmm.
Verse 9.
Here.
Spear. I don't, here, right here. Yeah.
Spear. So I don't know.
What version is this?
What does 4 and 6 add up to? 10? I know these people use numerology and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it seems to me like, hold on. Let me pull the document back up. Okay. All right. So do you guys see how we use that information, the different tools and this information? But isn't it interesting how the academic version uses the abstract meaning instead of concrete? So this is why we need to know these skills, okay? Because these lexicons are not always loyal to the concrete. Y'all see? Y'all follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
It's coming out of the concrete into the abstract, right? But what we have to do is search for something that's concrete so we can take it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see it, Stan?
Yeah.
Terry?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So that's why learning these skills is so important, because we cannot rely on any of this. We have to rely on our own brain to use these skills, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which is better, right? Because we can examine and evaluate all of this stuff and take what we need from it to go back to our stuff, because these are our records. Okay.
Wow.
Are you guys tired? You want to keep going?
I'm a little bit curious, Dr. Yusapa. This is Jim Alexandre. How are you doing?
Shalom, Jimmy.
Shalawama, shalawama. Stan, I'm curious, man. What you just point out on the 46th chapter, Uh, that where did that come from? So the first I've heard of it.
Oh, no, I heard of that before my awakening day. I've known it for 20 something years. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that the only one, or have you heard of others?
I've heard of others. I've heard of
yeah.
others. That's one of the issues with the KJV Bible.
Right.
So let
It
me
has a
see.
lot of masonry in it too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why a lot of people think that King James was an Edomite, and that the KJV and the New Testament and all of that were Trojan horses.
Yeah.
Right.
There are teachings that the Stewart family were African American, were African, but I don't know. There's many camps that teach King James was black, the Stewart family, but I'm not sure. I do know the first Britons were black. So
Mhm.
Wow.
So there are those who and they have their evidence too. They say that King James was a Edomite, and
yeah,
he put together the New Testament and the KJV in order to disarm our people, make them passive, right,
yeah,
and to conquer us. So, but these are Jimmy. These are things that are disputed amongst Hebrew Israelites.
right. Right. I know it
And
was translated from the receptors, not the what's the not the Fashida, the receptors up the what, how you pronounce that? I got it in my notes, but it's different from the Septuagint, where the Septuagint came from the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh.
Mhm.
The King
Let's
James
go through
Version.
this. Jimmy, can you read? Sorry,
Um,
Stan. Y'all want to go through this? I got
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
article.
I could probably do one round real quick here.
Oh, you're at work? Okay.
Yes, sir, I am. All right, so I can go ahead and read this here. So we have the word here, the OBADIAH. The
Oh, wait,
transliteration.
Jimmy, wait. Sorry about that.
Not a problem, brother.
Can you read this, and then we'll go back to the document?
Sure. What we got here? Shakespeare wrote the Book of Psalms, and it's a question mark. SLH in the column of the Morning Lender headed sub rosa says that the following suggestion researches him from a learned correspondent in West Hackney. In the same Shakespeare, in the name Shakespeare, there are 4 vowels and 6 consonants. If you write down the figure 4 and then follow it by the figure 6, you get 46. Very well. Turn to Psalm 46, and you will find that in the 46th word from the beginning is shake, while the 46th word from the end is spear. This fact, or rather those facts, may be held to prove, according to my correspondent, that the Psalms were written by Shakespeare, and that this is really the corrected way of spelling his name. I know the controversialists are a fierce tribe, and they stick at each other as well as nothing. And so they will try to make out the word spear in the 47th and not the 46th word. from the end of the 46th Psalm. But this can only be done by quoting Selah. And if you think I am going to throw over a vulnerable literary discovery from the for the sake of an old Selah, you're mistaken.
So this sounds like the person who originally found this.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be. Because we know the word Salah is not, it just means musical interlude.
Yeah, it's not in the really.
David was playing his guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan, you want to continue? Do we finish this out and then go back to the document?
You want me to finish reading?
Yeah.
The original 1611 King James Bible, the word spear was actually,
Sorry about that.
no, it's okay. The word spear was actually spelled spear, spare, which contradicts the guy's point about the fourth consonant and the spelling of Shakespeare's name. However, its larger point remains true, that Psalms 46, the word shake is the 46th word from the beginning, and spear is the 46th word from the end. You can't refute it, but I guess you got to accept that. One theory is that they suggest that Shakespeare's work on the King James translation and derived this way to leave his calling card, kind of like a Shakespeare was here signed, or maybe one of the translators was a fan of his. And he was one of them. Or perhaps it means absolutely nothing and it's just weird coincidence. That's what I was saying. No one knows. One more weird coincidence, Shakespeare was 46 years old in 1610, which is about the translation, is about when the translation was being completed. Right.
Oh, here it is.
He was one of the 54 scholars, so my mind's made up. I don't know.
Spear. Here's something really interesting. King James translator, remember. Here's something really interesting, y'all. There are many people who say that Shakespeare was not a person. It was a writing committee. And it was a secret society. I don't know the details. I haven't looked at that in a long time.
Yeah, I think it's a rumor too that he and Beecher were lovers. So, I don't know.
I have so many things on my desktop. How do we, okay, that they were not written by a committee. And at the time, it was common for these writing committees to use a pen name as a one person author.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see what this guy commented. There is some evidence to suggest that not all of the Shakespeare plays were written by the same man. There is much stronger evidence to suggest that they were, okay. However, it is odd that some of the plays and some parts of the plays are not nearly as good as others. For example, the beginning of Pericles plods among and seems, to me at least, very turgid. Suddenly the writing takes off as though Shakespeare himself had turned up and taken over the writing. That does not mean that, no, it's not worth reading. In English pronounced. Let's see, let's go back. Sometimes you can find information that'll lead you somewhere in these comments.
Right.
Digital journey. Shakespeare, okay. Stan, you want to read?
Yeah. More than 300 years after the fact, questions are forever being raised as to the authorship of William Shakespeare's mind-blowing body of work. The latest theory says they were all written by a collection of other writers of the period. Good conspiracy theories never die. Like fine wines and cheese, they just hang around, mutating and getting riper with each generation. The who wrote Shakespeare's stuff theory has been around for about 300 years, making it one of the oldest still circulating, making it one of the oldest and still circulating. This time around, the story is Willie the Shape didn't write any of that stuff. That it was all written by a group, the way TV shows are done. Floating the story, a group of obviously underemployed actors, including Sir Derek Jacobi and Mark Rylance. Almost 300 people have signed a declaration of responsible doubt, which they hope will prompt further research.
They got the cursor current. I'm sorry, Stan, to interrupt you. Can you go down to this paragraph right here?
Yeah, I subscribe to a group theory. I do not think anybody could do it on their own. Sir Derek told BBC One, and yeah, HPP / you don't want me to read that, do you? Okay,
I
or
tried
maybe,
to click on it, but they just, oh, okay, well, wait a minute.
yeah, you can. You should be able to.
Let's see if we can watch what this guy says. Oh, it's not a video. Okay, so here it is. I subscribe to the group theory. You want to read from here, Stan?
Yeah, I don't think anybody could do it on their own, Sir Derek said. The group says that there are no records of Shakespeare being paid for his work. While documents do exist for Shakespeare, who was born in Stratford upon Avon in 1564, all are literary, excuse me. In particular, his will, in which he left his wife my second best bed in furniture, contains none of his famous turns and phrases, and it does not mention any book, plays, or poems.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Literary household. 287.
Illiterate household.
Huh?
Illiterate household.
Yeah. You want me to read?
Yeah.
The 287 strong Shakespeare authorized authorship correlations says it is not possible that the bard's plays with the emphasis on law could have been penned by the 16th century commoner raised in illiterate household. I guess that means education, talking about his education or what? Okay, it asks why
means they
most
couldn't read, right? Couldn't read.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't read. How could he write? Well, okay. It asks why most of his plays are set among the upper class, and why Stratford upon Avon is never referred to in any of his plays. How did he become so familiar with all things.
Please unlock your device for this.
That's my cell phone.
Mm.
How did he become so familiar with all things Italian, so that even obscure details in these plays are accurate? The group adds. Conspiracy theories have circulated since the 18th century about the number of figures who could have used Shakespeare as a pen name, including playwright Christopher Marlowe, nobleman Edward de Vere, and Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon was in what secret society? He was
Right.
was it Rosicrucian? But anyway, let's continue.
I think the leading light was probably de Vere, as I agree that an author writes about his own experiences, his own life, and his own personalities. Sir Dedrick said. The Declaration unveiled at Minerva Theater in Chichester, Wessex, also named 20 prominent doubters of the past, including Mark Twain, Orson Welles, Sir John, Gielgud, and Charlie Chaplin. Legitimate question. A copy was presented to Dr. William Lee, head of the English at London Brunel University and governor of the first Massachusetts in Shakespeare, M.A. Shakespeare's authorship studies, to be launched later this month. It has been a battle of mine for the last couple of years to get this into academia, Dr. Leahy said. It is a legitimate question. It is a legitimate question. It has a mystery at its center. An intelligence discussion will bring us closer to that century. That's not to say we will answer anything that's not the point. It is, of course, to question.
Okay, thanks. So if the Shakespeare committee, if Shakespeare is a committee, then that means what?
Wonder what else they had their hands on.
Right, because at that time secret societies were in these committees. I mean, these were secret societies.
Yeah.
Right, secret societies. And we know what the secret societies were about, right? Initially, they were not bad. They were trying to escape the Catholic Church. But when we talk about Edomites, oh, here it is, right here. Let's see what this person has to say. When we talk about Edomites, we know, so let's see what we can find here. This is, what's the name of this article? Francis Bacon, Shakespeare and Secret Societies. Sir Francis Bacon, I'm gonna skip that, was born 1561. He was well known for his contribution to science. In fact, science and research is what it is today because of Bacon. The methodology of science and research, something we may not even think about as having an origin of ever not existing, was Bacon's brainchild. He is the father of, what is that? Empiricism. Okay, that's a form of investigation. Bacon championed the need for inductive reasoning. That means being able to gradually generalize findings based upon accumulated data. The more data you investigated, the more convincing your hypothesis. If you're interested in his works, you can find them wherever that is. Okay, so Bacon has played a part in all our educations, science experiments, so on and so forth. But did you know that some would say, the same about English lessons? Okay, so the Bacon's theory holds that Shakespeare was merely the front man, taking all the glory so that the important statesman would not be criticized as being a lowly public playwright. By finding another man to take credit, Bacon's high ambitions to hold high office in government could remain achievable. Scholars came up with the theory after perceiving similarities in the philosophies of Bacon as seen through his correspondence and the ideas put forward in Shakespeare's plays. Some also find codes and ciphers in the plays that point to Bacon. But it has to be said that the vast majority of Shakespeare scholars reject this theory. Let me go back up here to the first sentence. A theory first published in the mid-19th century suggests that Sir Francis Bacon was the real author of some or even all of the plays that most of us believe were written by William Shakespeare. Okay, so this is not the only unusual claim about Bacon's life. He is also thought to have been a member of secret societies. He is alleged to have been connected with the fraternity Freemasons and German secret philosophical society, the Rosicrucians. Now if you look up Freemasonry and Rosicrucians in American history, especially like the Revolutionary period, the founding of the nation, you'll see how diabolical these organizations were. But initially, from my understanding, secret societies, they were only trying to hide information from the Catholic Church. But it wasn't until they were corrupted where they got the satanic bloodletting, child molestation stuff that they got from the Khazars and so forth. Okay. So here it is, right? So he was alive during that time, at the beginning of the nation's founding. So that would involve Freemasonry and all of this other stuff. So this is why a lot of people say that he was a Edomite. This is one of the reasons why they say he was an Edomite, and the KJV and the New Testament were designed to mentally conquer our people.
Yeah, I think it's mostly those camps that push the KJV.
Yeah.
That presents them as black. Because the way they speak, I mean, they believe that there's no wrong in the KJV.
Yeah.
Most of them believe that.
Yeah, and in this document, because because quote unquote black people are so dedicated to the KJV. I've spoken with people, you can't talk to them unless you're talking KJV.
Right.
But this document uses KJV specifically for that purpose, because it brings out the translation errors or deceit in KJV.
Y'all gonna have to excuse me for a minute. I gotta take the dog out.
Okay.
Okay.
Jimmy, are you still with us?
Yes, brother, I am. I'm definitely here. Is it just you and I right now?
Huh?
Is it just you and me right now?
Terry's here. I think your sister is here.
Yeah,
and this is being recorded. This is being recorded too.
I think Linda got off. She went to bed.
Ah, okay. But this is also being recorded.
Yeah, not a problem. So let me throw this in here. It might be a little bit off topic, but just through everything I've just been learning here, through my time with you, Dr. Issapa, it would seem to me, what it is clear that when we deal with the Old Testament, that we were dealing with concrete, and that's what helps us to be able to go back and see what was truly said versus, you know, things such as the King James and the different translators who go in and put their ideology and put all these other abstracts in there in the process of translating and transliterating the Old Testament. Whereas the New Testament, which is from the Greek world, is basically all
Abstract.
abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess my question would be, what does that mean exactly for the New Testament? Is there any way of proving that, or is it simply, what exactly does it mean for the New Testament in that case?
Well, Jimmy, I try not to make comments on New Testament because I'm not expert in Greek. I hear what you're saying, and then people get mad over the New Testament. So what I can say is this: the instructions that the Most High gave us in the Torah, or what they call the Torah, but the contract covenant is different from what's in the New Testament. And there are a lot of people who would say, no, that's not true. You just don't understand. And they go through doctrine to explain why those differences are there. You follow me?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
They have a teaching to explain the difference, right? So,
Yes.
So that's my answer. And the more of these skills that you learn, the more you will be able to answer your question to your own satisfaction competently. But this is a Hebrew school, and I don't feel it's my place to give my opinion or what I think about something that I don't teach.
I completely understand, and that, that's why I say it may not be appropriate. And again, I understand. I respect that. That's one of the key things about your school is that you've made it clear from day one you don't teach doctrine, and you've always identified the difference between your basic opinion, but the facts that you always get us back right into is, hey, what does it say? Concrete versus the same thing that you were teaching us, which is how to identify what it truly is, and it has make a significant difference. But at the same time, as you can imagine, after years of being conditioned to look at things a certain way, it also leaves a lot of question. So, let me see how I can ask this. To think of life after death would simply be abstract. Because there's just no way of saying that we all can experience it unless it can be experienced in concrete, then it's abstract. And if it's abstract, then it's not reality, which is one of the key things I picked up here tonight.
It's a very good observation. Very, very good observation. And I challenge anybody to find in the instructions where there's anything like that ever said.
So that
it's not in there.
Eternal life or life after death was never offered in the Torah.
I challenge anybody to find it where it says it, not a doctrine that explains it, right?
Where it literally says it. Wow.
But also burning in hell is not in the instructions.
Oh, I agree. I actually was just doing a study on that as far as that doctrine of burning in hell for all eternity, and I think it was the word Sheol, and that's what I believe my sister was talking about a couple nights ago when we had this class. Actually, it was interesting. While she was studying that, I wasn't aware of that, and I ran into it, and I started studying on that, and I left her a message. I said, hey sis, give me your take on hell, you know, in the word Sheol. So you see all the different times that it actually appears in you know, in the book, and what it actually meant really has nothing to do with the doctrine that we have been conditioned to believe.
That's right. That's right. So yes, and it's all. I don't, Jimmy, were you here when we started talking about the gap and all of that?
No,
Oh, okay. So let me show you. Were you here yesterday, Jimmy?
no. When Linda sent me a text telling me that you guys were on, I actually was home and I was entertaining guests. By the time I was done around 10:30 last night, my time, I texted her back asking, were you guys still on? And I never heard back from her, so I thought you guys were done. So I didn't catch no part of it at all last night.
Well, let me show you, because what we're talking about, we did a video.
Okay.
So let's look at the, in this video, you can get the analytical process that we went through.
Okay.
Let me see, sorry, let me see. I'm gonna just show you, the video is on YouTube.
You got it on YouTube now. Okay, so I'll be able to take a look at it tonight.
Yeah, here it is right here. These two, watch these two videos, and then I'm gonna post this video when we're done. I had a hard time, but it took me hours and hours and hours to post this thing because it wouldn't. I had so many I had a lot of trouble with this video posting.
So you got it uploaded. Okay.
Yeah. So watch these two videos, and then the one we're doing right now.
Okay.
And then that will give you clarity on what. Yes.
Dr. Sapa, also, I went ahead and got the app for Skype on my phone. It is actually working. If you send me your number, I can actually reach out to you. If you try to reach out to me on it through my phone number, I'll be able to probably easier to communicate with you through Skype.
Okay, great. My Jimmy, my number is right in the chat. Check the chat at the top. That top plus number.
Let me see.
Now my number is gonna be on the internet.
No, I don't see it in the chat.
Well, because we're recording. Well, no, it's okay. I'll change the number if I have to. But that's my number to highlight right there.
I don't see it in the chat.
Y'all don't see it in the chat?
I do.
No.
It's right there, right up top. Just click on chat.
I click on chat and I do not see it. Search chat and it looks like there was a message. Yeah, a message from Linda saying, Shalom, everyone, I have to go.
It's at the top. Keep scrolling. Go to the top.
You gotta keep scrolling. It's at the very top.
Let me turn my phone around. No, it's not letting me. I'm on my phone. That may be the difference.
Okay, let me email it. I'll email it to you, Jimmy, but let me try it again.
Not a problem, brother.
When he look at this episode, he should be able to, when he go back and look at it.
Yeah, you can get it. Because I'm not able to copy paste it either, and I don't really know my number. Hold on, let me see, Jimmy. When you go to Skype, Jimmy, can you email me your Skype information?
I'm
gonna take a picture of this, and I'm gonna email it to you. I'm gonna take a picture and email it to you.
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem.
I don't know these numbers. I didn't memorize them.
Hey, L.
Yes.
Have you ever looked up the word troglodyte nigger?
Well, you want to show it? Well, hold up. So are we finished? Are we finished with the lesson today? With the document? Are we
Let's
finished?
look up troglodyte nigger. See what that is.
That must be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one right there.
Why they call us niggas, man? Where that word come from? Why they call us niggas? I like to know.
So let's pick up on the lesson tomorrow. We can continue with this fun conversation. Is that okay with everybody? We pick up on the lesson tomorrow?
Hey, not a problem. What time tomorrow?
Same. We started at 6:30 in the morning. Well, What time are you guys time? 7:30 p.m.
7:30.
Eastern Standard Time.
7:30, so that would be 6:30 Central for me. Okay.
Can y'all do it later? Can we do this later or
Yeah, I mean, whatever time, 8 o'clock, it don't matter. 9 o'clock.
what about for you, Terry?
I will be at work tomorrow night, so I don't get off until closer to midnight our time. So I'll probably have to watch the recording.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know,
What about when are you gonna be free in the evening?
I don't go to work until, let's see, I'm looking.
When are you gonna be free? But maybe we can schedule it for the day that you're not working when you're off in the evening.
My next evening off will be Friday.
Oh, that's too far.
That's too far, yeah.
Yeah, and I
For as
take
much
class
time
on
as we need to
Saturday.
do everything. Yeah, the only other evening would be 3:30 on Wednesday, but then I would have to jump off by 5 to be at work by 5:30.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay because you have the cell phone you can watch on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You just take your cell phone.
Okay.
And when we focus on the document, we can go faster. Like right
Okay.
now, we've been doing a lot of extra stuff, but the extra stuff for me is fun.
Yeah. And we've learned a lot with the extra stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm happy that that you're okay with that. So, Stan, what were we talking about? You're on mute, Stan.
I mean, if everybody's already aware, we don't have to. It's just, I like looking stuff up. And
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So
Let's do it.
we completed the first word in the document, okay? And so we're going to start on the second word, and maybe next time we'll focus more on going through the words. But let's do some fun stuff.
yeah. Troglodyte Niger. Let's find out where that word come from. Why they call us niggers. Perhaps they're trying to hide their own identity, but we'll see.
I'm going to mute my microphone and listen, okay?
Okay. But you're going to pull it up, right?
No, you want to do it? I was going to.
No, I
Okay.
can do it.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
I'll read it.
Oops. Let's see. Cherry, this is new to you, right? Or no?
Oh, she seemed like she's
Terry
familiar.
smiling.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Stan. You got it.
All right.
Tell me what you want me to do.
Let me see.
What is a troglodyte nigger?
Troglodyte nigger is the caveman. When I pull it up, let me try to pull it up because I get a different picture
Okay.
of a hairy white beast. Hold on.
Let me give you the let me give you control of the mouse.
Okay.
Let me see if I can remember how to do it.
Well, I think I got it. I can share. I'm moving it.
Okay, you got it. I'm gonna mute my microphone and just listen.
Okay. Let me see. Let me look at here. This is not. Let me see. Let me move this over here. What was that spelling?
Trog. There you go. Troglodyte. It's right there up on the drop down.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah. Let me change that. Rosie, go sit down. Lay down. Troglodyte. There it is right there. Okay. Let's see. This is not what I'm looking for. They even got a language, huh? Huh. Is the caveman or cave dweller a member of the prehistoric paleo people that lived in caves? Troglodyte is anyone who lives a primitive, low, degenerative fashion. Nigger relates to Paleolithic and anthropoid ape, being like a chimpanzee. They found some what they call giant chimpanzees. They're 6 feet tall. Let me see if I can find the picture that I was looking for. And that thing that associate them with the other cave dweller, Esau. That ain't it. Europe. There we go. Let me see if this is the one. Still ain't it. Well, I don't know why I'm not finding the one that shows them in the cave. What they look like, hairy, white, cavemen. Almost like a Neanderthal. I don't know why I'm not finding it, but let me look at this here. I want to know about their language. Troglodyte spoken language was simplified version, Draconic. That's interesting. It was capable of being transcribed but never done so. The troglodytes themselves. Draconians. This is Draco. What's another word for that?
For which one's there?
I was saying it's draconian, their language.
Oh, draconic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means. You can look it up.
I might have to put it in the thing up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Did you relate it to the Horites and the Edomites?
I can't find it, but I know I was looking for that. I was looking for the one that shows pictures basically like Neanderthal cave dweller.
I'll find it. If you want, I'll find it.
All right, just let me go ahead and do this word real quick. What does?
Okay.
Let's see how they pronounce
Draconic.
it. Draconic. Okay. What do you say it means?
Ooh, they spoke in a very harsh and That sounds like grunts to me.
Yeah. It's just talking about the real nature of some people, and perhaps giving us labels to hide their true identity.
Yeah. Hey, Stan, do me a favor. Can you click on right here, the real, is Draconic a real language? A little bit lower.
Right there.
Yeah.
You want to read it?
Okay, Draconic was one of the earliest languages influencing or creating the languages of Kobolds. I don't know if that's an I or an L. It's so small I can't see it. And other races.
Yeah.
According to Dragons, their language was the oldest. Dragons, their language was the oldest mortal tongue, and all other mortal languages descended from it. Draconic was a monolithic language, and it remained almost unchanged since its creation. To me, that's not really saying too much.
No,
Let me tell you why.
I think the most is not being said. You almost have to
Yeah.
read between the lines.
Yeah. Can you click on what does Draconic sound like, please? It employs sounds that humans describe as hissing. I knew it was something like that.
Mhm.
S, s, and zzz.
Snake
As
sound.
well as a noise that sounds like a beast clearing its. I knew it. Didn't I say it? I said grunting. Didn't I say it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Draconic words have emphasis on their first syllable. Speakers of Draconic express important ideas by emphasizing the beginning and ends of words. Now, I've never seen anybody who speaks Draconic language.
Not no more today.
Language is an inherent part of human, it's a human faculty, right? It doesn't come underdeveloped, right?
Right.
It
You got
came,
to have the biological equipment.
right, and they did not have that because there are genetically engineered creatures.
Right.
So they didn't
See,
have the faculty developed, huh?
right. See, their foundation is among the stars.
Mm-hmm.
That Draco stuff, that's
Mm-hmm.
getting into serpentine lizardry and reptiles and all other kind of strange stuff. The ones that hibernated them will probably be returning soon. But you know, it's just, I just wanted to bring it out. I wanted to really show that thing and how it's related to Esau, because it goes back to the 28th chapter of Ezekiel,
Mm-hmm.
Where you find very strange language. It seems to be talking about a man, and then it seems to be talking about an angel, and then a king that from the beginning was in the garden. And from what I understand, only three beings was in the garden: Adam and Eve and the serpent. But you know, when you start researching stuff that's not readily just out there, you just got to put piece and things together. I know that our people, when we settled in Western Africa, we settled on both sides of the river that they named nigger. So they named that river nigger just to be able to call us niggers. Who really is their heritage. That's what they are. That's who they are.
Sam, can you do me a favor? Can you look up Koboids? I don't know, Koboids. I think that's what I can barely see it.
Yeah.
That bottom one.
Yeah.
I would like to see who they are.
Kobolds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just do it this way.
So we're talking about cavemen, right? And this draconic language.
Definitely talking about cavemen.
And there is no history, absolutely none, of our people ever dwelling in caves.
No.
The caveman admits who he is. White people say they admit that they're cavemen.
Right. Yeah.
So
Beasts of the field.
beast of the field. That's what it says.
No, that's
Oh.
just not my own.
Oh, okay.
German folklore inhabits underground places. Domestic German folklore. I don't know. That's strange. Let me click on this one from dictionary.com and see what they say. Let me see.
A spirit or goblin, often mischievous, that hunts houses. So we know we're dealing with white folks because we didn't have stuff like this in any of our cultures.
No.
Oh, kobold. That's the name of it. Kobold. Okay, hey Stan, can I have the can I screen share now? I would like to show Terry those pictures that you're talking about.
Right.
So Terry, let's try to find those pictures, okay? That Stan's talking about. And I just looked at them the other day, actually. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Y'all see it?
Yeah. Yep.
So let's see. We should see. So this is one of them, Terry.
Yeah.
Terry saw these already.
Yeah.
But you see all of that nasty hair?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down and see. They have some other troglodyte. Oh, this is a troglodyte here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also here, you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
But also
I seen a TV thing on this one here.
which one? This one?
On this one.
This
a
one.
thing on TV where he was speaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is Troglodyte Niger, the original Troglodyte Niger. So according to more science, these hybrid European, the one who classifies itself as white, their origin is the sperm of a Troglodyte Niger chimpanzee. That's the Troglodyte Niger chimpanzee, and the egg of a Moabitess woman. Okay, so that's why they say hybrid. So the Moabite woman would have been a melanated woman, right? And a genetic engineering procedure and process was done by impregnating that egg with the sperm of this Troglodyte Niger. And it produced, according to more science, this creature right here. Okay, it produced this creature right here. And this creature, well, the creature looks something like that. Right? Looks something like that. And it was a hermaphrodite according to Genesis chapter 1.
Right.
Hermaphrodite. Now these would be, I think, also, Stan, you know the angels who had sex with women?
Right.
And then they produced those giants. And then in later generations, I'm going to show you something, Terry. There's a people called Horites. the people called Horite. I hope I can find this. That's connected to this whole discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, they inhabited where?
Mount Seir.
They inhabited Mount Seir before Esau.
Mm-hmm.
Esau took it from Mount Seir. I'm sorry, Esau took Mount Seir from the Horites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now let's see if we can find what I'm searching for here that I would like to show you. Okay. This is not the one, but I'll read through it briefly. There's another one. Okay, surname of Seir. What is here we go. See, Hori, plural Horites, means the cave or cave dwellers. See the connection?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, surname Seir, who with his descendants, the Horites, occupied the land subsequently called Edom. That's taken from Genesis 20. The name occurs in the plural only once and with the definite article. That's the. Its meaning indicates the nature of the dwellings of the aboriginal inhabitants of Idumea. Okay. But remember, there was no Idumea at that time. It was just Seir, Mount Seir.
Mm-hmm.
And is confirmed by the presence of excavated dwellings in the mountains of Edom. You know what those are?
Mm.
I'll show you. The Horites are first mentioned in connection with their defeat by Chedorlaomer and his allies in the time of Abraham. They were finally destroyed by the Edomites who occupied their land. But what they failed to say here is that the Edomites took Horite women and children.
Oh, wow.
There were about 250 or so remaining in Mount Seir after they killed them in battle.
Mm-hmm.
And the Edomites didn't kill them. So that means they intermarried with them, right?
They intermarried. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back and try to fit. So that's the
Y'all
background.
excuse
I'll
me,
show
we'll
you
put
Mount
the
Seir.
phone down. I'll be right back.
I'm trying to show you Mount Seir, Terry, so
Okay.
you can see this. Good. I already looked at that. I used to teach this. I haven't taught it in a while. Let's see. All right. No, that's not it. We looked at JewishEncyclopedia.com.
I think we did at one point.
Let's see. There's something that connects this that I really want you to see, but it's in a specific encyclopedia. That's why I'm searching for it. Hori. Maybe this is it, but that's it. I think. No. That's a Jewish encyclopedia. Oh, that's a Jewish. Where is it? And you know, they changed so much on the internet, you can barely find anything now.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Horites. There's a it's in the, I think it's in the Jewish Encyclopedia. It's the one I used to teach from all the time. I think it was even let me see if it's Hori. If I could get rid of that and try it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I think it might take a little time to find this again because they done switched things up. So I'll show her. What I wanted to show her was the connection between these Horites and Edom. It's in the Jewish Encyclopedia. But I know how to do it. Let me take a different approach. Okay. Yeah. Well, so maybe we can find it from here. Who were the Horites in the Bible?
Okay.
Okay, answer. Horites were an ancient people group who had some dealings with Abraham through Esau, Abraham's family, and the Edomites. Okay, the Horites are first mentioned at, so you see the Bible verse here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Genesis 14:6, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir. Okay, so that they had Seir first. Next mentioned at Genesis 36. These are the generations of Esau, that is Edom, too. Esau took wives from the Canaanites, Adah, the daughter of Elon, the what? The Hittite, Obama, the daughter of this one, and Havite. Havite, I believe, is Horite.
Mm-hmm.
Havite and Horite are the same thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at more. Okay, so yeah, Havite is a Horite. Okay, Havite, let me prove it. Let me Horites. It was Havite, right?
Right here.
You're right.
That's Wikipedia. I don't know if you wanted it, but it said it.
Yeah, I don't really like Wikipedia, but if you know, okay,
But
I
it
see.
went right into it, Canaan and the Horites.
Right.
Havites, it's dissociation. I don't like Wikipedia either. But
Right. So the Septuagint reads the four towns as Horites. That's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So Havites is Horites,
Mm-hmm.
right? According to the Septuagint. Y'all see it? All right. That's what I was looking for. So Esau married a Horite, a cave dweller.
Mm.
Now we can see why, right? We can see why. Remember what we looked at? The pictures of Edom,
Mm-hmm.
of Esau. Remember how he had hair like a fur coat.
Mm-hmm.
right,
So he was looking just like him.
right. Yep. And his skin showing forth the blood.
So where is it at? Do you remember those pictures, Terry?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
It was
Okay,
very
good.
good.
Where? I got too many windows open. I lost my spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we are. So that would explain why somebody would marry a Horite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we already established that one of Esau's wives was a Horite. So that's the introduction of Horite blood into Esau's line. His seed has been destroyed.
Mm.
Right now in Mount Seir, I think that's in the book of Jasher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
10:7.
Okay.
90:7.
Huh?
Chapter 90, verse 7 and 8 and 9.
That's where it's at about Esau.
Yeah, it's all over Jasper.
Mm.
The 13th chapter, the 23rd chapter.
Yeah.
See the
Okay. So
word
this is the
Chittim?
battle. Yeah. Okay, great.
That's Rome, right? You said?
That's Rome. Chittim is Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Yeah. Or it could be
At
K.
that time, they could no more lift up their heads as their kingdom became one with the children of Chittim. This is Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. And then it
Esau,
shows how Herod is Esau and how Herod united with Rome and Rome put him in power. Him and the Caiaphas, those so-called Jew rabbis, they were all Esau in that day and time. That's why, well, in the Bible, that's why Christ and Revelations 2 and 9, 3 and 9 called them the synagogue of Satan.
mhm. So in Jasher, if you read through here, there's a story about, took place, I think, at the time of Joseph's death.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Esau came out and there was a battle. They went back and forth, and then Esau finally won. Then they went up into Mount Seir. They had killed the Horites, almost all of them. There are only 250 remaining, women and children. They went up into Mount Seir where they saw them. They took Mount Seir, and then of course they didn't kill the 250, right? So that means that they lived amongst them and had children, you know, the whole 9 yards. They mixed with them. So now you have Esau from the very beginning of his lineage. He had 3 wives or something like that, 3 or 4.
More than three.
But one was a Horite.
Married 2 sisters. 2 of his wives were Canaanites.
Yeah. So
So
one
he
was a
had more than
Horite,
3.
that cave dweller.
Yeah.
So from the very start of his children, of his lineage, one was a Horite.
Right. The very first one.
Yep. So
His
Horite.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after however many generations went by, when they went up into Mount Seir and took it, there was another introduction of Horite genes into Esau's line.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, El, just let me share something for a minute. I'm gonna send this whole thing to you.
Okay.
Let me share this right quick for 1 minute.
Okay. All right, hold on. There you go.
Go back here. Back here. Okay, I did this whole thing here. This is a lesson that I did.
Let me see. Are you sharing it?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
How Edom and Japheth became one?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a whole series lecture that I did, and I used it as a debate, to debate Black Jesus on who the so-called white man is.
Okay.
But I came back from the biblical scriptures, the Septuagint, Koine Greek. It was translated from the Hebrew Bible, the Peshitta, Aramaic. The Texas Sarepta is where they got the King James Bible from. And of course, the Vulgate Bible. And then it gets into that whole Jews call, okay, the Mikra. What is the Tanakh and how all of that came about. The 66 books of the Bible. And then it gets into, as you can read that, it's very small, but it goes here from Rome, why Rome is not in the Bible and who Rome is, and how Rome came out of Alexander the Great, according to the Book of OBADIAH, 1016. The sons of Javan, which Elisha, Tarshish, Chittim, and it gets into who all these people are. Great Britain, Spain, Rome, Serbia. Okay, gets into all of that. Let's see. who is Elisha. Okay, then the Elishins, and from Japheth. Gets into that, and then it comes back to the sons of Esau, Bayam, Shalsah. These are the generations of Esau. It gets into the fact that the dukes, Esau's kids, each 12 were called duke.
Uh-huh.
Where the dukes come from, the highest hereditary title in British, certain of other peerages. That was, I'm gonna send the whole thing to you. This is Oxford. This is Merriam.
Okay.
The Book of OBADIAH, the children of Chittim, ruled over the Edomites, who is Esau. This is OBADIAH 60, 1 through 5, 61, 12, 13, 61, 23, 24. I mean, it's all here. Using secular history and the history from the Bible. The Ashkenazi that came from Japheth, has his heritage in the Germans. That's why modern Hebrew is a Germanic mixture language, Hebrew,
Yeah.
Greek, and German.
Yeah.
It's called Yiddish.
Mm-hmm.
This talks about all of that and how they brought that in. The map showing the lands that Idumea, okay, and I showed this to show the difference in the languages. Getting into Hebrew here. The Book of Joshua says that the children of Chittim ruled over the Edomites. And then I brought it in, Esau-Edom, to the world biography of Herod the Great, biblically, his history, how he became Esau, how he became Rome, how he became king over Israel. This is more about Herod. Here's just some more conclusion on Idumea, who they are, and then the restoration of Israel and Judah, and what's gonna, as in Ezra, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of the new. And that's basically what it brings into God's wrath against Idumea. I spent some time on this.
I can tell. Yeah.
But I'm gonna send it all to you, man.
I appreciate that, Stan. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's see how we can work it into the Book of OBADIAH as we do this word for word analysis.
Right, because people really need to know Esau. Not just from a color aspect, you know, because my wife, if you look at my wife, most people would think she's white because she's a product of two fair-skinned Black people. And if you look at her hair, you can see the nappiness, the kinky stuff close to the scalp. But, you know, we got to go beyond that because, you know, we're going to find Israel, I believe, because of what happened here in America, among the lightest lights and the darkest darks.
Were you in class, Stan, when I did that? When I showed about the skin, white skin. See, people cannot make a determination about skin based upon what you see. You've got to do a biopsy.
Right.
Because the physiology of white skin is different from ours.
Exactly.
You look at the histology of it, it's the way it's structured is different.
Right.
So I got a little image of it. This is from a medical book. That I can show y'all. But do you see those pictures on the screen, Terry? These are troglodyte niggers, Neanderthals. I think this is what you were looking for, right, Stan?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
Yeah.
that's it. Now remember, this is after the creature was able to this is more toward perfection,
Yeah.
looking more and more human. This also correlates to the what's the Muslim story about the origin of white people?
Yakub.
Yaqub. This
Science.
also correlates with the Yaqub story.
Yeah.
So it correlates with more science. It correlates with Genesis 1 and the Yaqub story. And they admit that they were cave dwellers. Right? So in that admission, they admit to being troglodyte niggers. You saw that commercial about troglodytes before, Terry?
Yeah.
Did you see it, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that commercial before?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Is it that Geico commercial? So
Yeah.
easy, even a caveman can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they admit to it. They don't deny it. So here are some of the cave. I guess this is Mount Seir. I don't know.
It's not high enough for Mount Seir. I mean, that place is steep, and it has the Petra.
Yeah,
The
Petra.
stone
That's what
church.
it's called.
Yeah, Petra.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this would be Mount Seir stuff.
Yeah.
And but this is and then these are you see the caves
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
in there. You see those where the
we don't want
cursors
to
are,
fall.
Terry.
Mm-hmm.
So they were living in these caves.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's see. So here's some other caves. They're living up in there. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that, man? Living in these.
How'd they get in them? Just crawl in them?
They probably had some type of way to walk up in there.
Mm.
I mean, those
Or
caves
ropes or stairs or something.
those caves are massive. I mean, inside. They're just not one little rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this is Mount Seir, right? You see the caves there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me go back. I want to show you. Well, if I can find it, I'll show you guys. About the skin of white people. It's different from ours. To go young. Jimmy, you were in class, right? You saw this before, right?
Yes, the pictures of those caves.
The skin, yeah.
I think I caught the end of it when I actually made it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But I do recall seeing those particular pictures.
All right. Well, let me try to find it on the internet. I don't know. I downloaded it. I just don't know where I put it. So let's see if I can find it. Malano sites. Go. A rapid review, I think. Go, yeah.
Make sure your emails.
I'm on the right. Oh, maybe. No, that's flashcards. Maybe this is it. Maybe that's it.
Hey, Stanford.
Yeah.
If it would be okay with you, man, if you wouldn't mind that presentation with the the one that you see you would share with Dr. Yusapa. Would you mind sharing that with me as well?
Yeah, what's your email?
You want me to go ahead and put it in the chat for you?
Yeah, you can
If you put it in the
chat.
chat, everybody's gonna get it because this is being
He
recorded. It's
already
gonna be,
did it. I thought he
Oh,
already did it.
I sent it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I'll
but
write it down real
unless
quick so you can
unless
take
you
it
bring it
off.
up on the screen, nobody would see it in the recording.
Well, let me just write it down real quick, okay?
All right. Dr. Yusapa,
Yes.
unless you actually bring it up to the screen, they shouldn't be able to see it in the recordings.
Really?
Yeah, because the recording is only showing what when someone is talking and what we are actually seeing, but the chat should not appear in the recording.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what should I do?
With
What do you want me to do?
no, nothing. That I mean, every individual who's on the call has access to actually view the chat, but only that individual is viewing that chat. We who are in the call, but the recording, the general recording that you are doing, unless you actually put up the chat on the screen for all of us to see the chat, that's the only way
Okay.
our viewers will see it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thanks. So they didn't get my number then. They couldn't see my number.
They did not. I thought about it. They did not. But I got your email.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jimmy, I
Oh, you
got
got
you.
it? Okay.
All right, brother.
I got you down. I'll send it depending upon what time we finish. If not
Not a
tonight,
problem, brother.
first thing tomorrow.
No problem. No problem, Stan.
Right.
Thank you in advance.
Let me see. I'm trying to find the I think I found it. I'm opening it up now. So I'll show you guys how we can determine if a person is white or not. And my opinion is to do it by skin biopsy because that's always going to be different, right? It will always be different if we do skin biopsy. And Terry, you'll see in just a minute why, okay? I'm just waiting for the document to open. I was able to download it and I'm just waiting for it to open, okay? So, give me 1 second. It's almost halfway through. But I'm gonna try to. You know what, guys? I want to do a class on the learned elders of Zion, where like we would just read it and talk about it.
That's interesting.
Y'all heard of that?
No, first time I've heard of that.
Hello?
Dr. Yusaba, can you hear us?
Hello?
I could hear
You don't
you.
hear us? You don't hear us?
Can you hear us?
I think
He's
he's trying to share his screen and it's stuck there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have lost Dr. Yusapa.
Oh, no.
He'll be able to come right back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says we had no host. Our host disappeared.
Yeah, he should be able to come in.
But you're still showing that as the host, Stan.
Uh-huh.
It's back to him.
Yeah.
Yep, he's back.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But what I was saying is that I would like to do a class on the book, The Learned Elders of Zion. And it would be something that we would just read and just discuss. You
That's
know?
interesting. Yeah. Interesting idea.
And what do you guys think about that? Have you guys familiar with the Learned Elders of Zion?
First time I've heard
Not
of it.
familiar with it, but it sounds interesting.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it describes Jewish people's well, the Zionists the Zionist plan to take over the world.
Yeah.
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 And
They tried that with Hitler.
huh?
They tried that with Hitler against their own people. Try to create a narrative.
Yeah.
If Germany would have won the war, we'd be living in a different society. Everything would be totally different now.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. What I would like to do, I mean, I would really like to just read it, you know, paragraph by paragraph with a group of people and just discuss it, you know, and see what we can learn from it. So let me, so I got the document up now. So this is a medical book. Let's see, where are we? Let me do a search. Okay, y'all see my screen?
Yes.
The search, my you know, my PDF is not working too good. Let's see, do you have? No, that's not it. Melanin, okay. Well, this is cell injury, that's not what we need. My computer is lagging. The cell injury, immunopathology, upper lower respiratory. What was that? What's the upper lower respiratory? Oh, wait, I can go to the table of contents and find this. What am I thinking of? Wow. Sometimes I do the stupidest things. Let's see.
Y'all excuse me, man. My wife is calling me. I said my wife is calling me. Y'all excuse me for a minute.
Okay.
Be right back.
Okay, cell injury. Oh, 737. Now, y'all saw what the title of that was, right? Skin disorders, right?
Skin disorders. Okay.
737. Page number, where's the page number? Okay, I think that's 714. I don't know what page we're on. Anybody see page numbers? Well, somewhere around here. Oh, 716. Okay, we're on 716, so we're a little way to go. $721. We go to 747. Oh, did we pass it? 757.
You passed it, didn't you? It's 7:46.
Yeah, I'm looking for the, that's the chapter.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for this. I remember it being at the beginning. I remember this being at the beginning of the chapter.
And Dr. Estapa, which book is this?
This is Goyen Rapid Review. Pathology.
Pathology.
Okay, somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is it. All right. Yeah, I remember right. Skin disorders, very first page. So, too bad Stan is not here. Skin histology and terminology. Okay, this is the structure of the skin. Okay, so, oh, Stan's back?
Yeah.
So normal skin histology, this is the normal structure of the skin. It has epidermis layer, the dermis layer, follow the highlight, right? So the dermis, there's a papillary dermis, there's a reticular dermis. Okay. let me pull up the, do they have a, okay, here, yeah. So let's take a look at this, okay. Can y'all see this or do I need to make it bigger?
No, I can see it.
So this is the epidermis, the outer layer of the skin that's in contact with the environment, okay. Here, there's the hypodermis. And then there's in the middle of that, the dermis. Okay, so upper dermis, middle, and then lower dermis, right? This is a hair follicle. Okay, this is the erector pili muscle. Okay, like when your hair stand up. This is the fat tissue under the dermis layer. Okay, under the hypodermis area. These are the glands. Now it should be, I hope there's a picture with the melanin. If not, I'll show you. Oh, this is the important thing. This is the basement membrane, okay? Y'all see the basement membrane here? The highlight? Basement membrane on top of the dermis, okay? Everybody follow that? This is the basal cell layer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is the basement membrane right there. Separating the basement membrane separates the basal layer from the dermis. All right, so let's go through it. I'll find a better picture for you guys on the internet. All right. So again, so the first layer is the epidermis. We won't go through all of these meanings, okay? Mm-hmm. So the dermis is composed of these bacillus. You can see them here, stratum, this, that, and the other, and then the dermis, and then the papillary and reticular dermis, okay? Now, number 4 says melanocytes, right? So can somebody volunteer to read?
I'm chewing.
Okay, so I'll do it. I'll do it. No volunteers. I'll do it. Do you want to read, Terry?
No, you got it. Yeah, I'm getting tired, but go ahead.
Okay, so melanocytes, definition. Melanin producing cell derived from the neural crest cells. That means it's derived, these are brain cells. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what it just said. Located in the stratum basilis. So where's that image we looked at? They don't show it here. Well, I'll show it to you on a different picture, okay? Melanin pigment is synthesized in the membrane-bound melanosomes, okay? Skin color, this is the part we want to focus on. Skin color, 1, number of melanocytes is usually the same in all races. Everybody has the same number, usually, okay? Number two, melanin is degraded more rapidly in whites than in blacks. Y'all see that?
Mhm.
It's destroyed faster in white people than in us. Three, in whites, melanosomes are concentrated in the basal layer. So we got the same number, but theirs are what? In the basal layer. So let's look at the basal layer. Theirs are here. Y'all see that?
Mhm.
This is the basal layer where the white people's melanocytes are. This is according to this science. Four, in blacks, this would be all melanated people, not just black people, right? All melanated people. Melanosomes are present throughout all layers. In blacks, melanocytes are larger than in whites and have more dendritic processes. These are the arms that go out from the melanocytes that connect with other cells. Remember, these are specialized brain cells. So there's more communication capacity with our melanins compared to theirs. All right, so that's pretty clear, right? Blacks have the same number of melanocytes than whites, but remember ours is in all layers. So ours is all throughout here. Y'all see that? All layers. Theirs are only here. So what's significant about that? This is what? Where the skin comes in contact with the sun. Right? So they have no protection to deal with those ultraviolet waves coming from the sun. This is why they get skin cancer and why we don't. So when the sun hits your melanin, it activates the melanin, and the melanin becomes what? You start to get darker, right? That's because the melanin, they call it a suntan.
Right.
Right? So that's the melanin activating itself. There's a whole lot to do with melanin, but white people don't have that ability. And theirs is all clumped in one part of the cell, where ours is spread out. The more dark
Therefore,
you
their
are, the
skin
more
burns.
spread out. Huh?
Their skin burns rather than
Right,
tan.
that's why it burns. They don't have melanin
Right.
at the top. So number
They're
E.
allergic to the sun.
So number E, sunlight and adrenocorticotropic hormone from the anterior pituitary gland stimulate melanin synthesis in the melanocytes. Okay, so that's what's happening with it. Okay, so skin layer. So the skin consists of three layers: the epidermis, dermis, and subcutaneous tissue. Right? Ours is in all layers. Theirs is only in here, the basal layer. Basal layer. Okay, so let's take a look at the melanocyte. It's a better image on the internet. And we'll be finished in 1 second, okay? Terry, this will be the last thing.
Mhm.
That's not it. I'm trying to see, where did I find that at? Oh, here's a good picture of a melanocyte. These are the dendritic processes, those little arms that go out and communicate with other cells.
Mhm.
This is the melanosome where the produces the melanin. All right. So this is what it looks like. This is the artist's illustration of what it looks like. We have these in all layers of our cells, and they're spread apart. And we have more of these little arms that communicate, right? And the white people only have it in the basal area, right over the basement membrane. So it really don't do you no good, right? If it's at the bottom, it's limited in, okay, yeah, this is an okay illustration of it. So here's that basement membrane,
Mhm.
but let me move this so I can see. Oh, but they don't have melanins here. So let's go back and find another one. When you see this, when you see it on an illustration, it makes it so much easier. Basal layer, basal layer. I don't see. This looks like a melanin. This looks like a melanocyte here. But let me go to a better picture. Surface. Okay, so you guys see the melanocyte. So let's look at this picture. This is not what I was looking for. Let's just take a look at it. Dark and light. This is the surface of the skin.
Mhm.
These are the upper. Oh, this is good. These are keratinocytes, melanosomes. Y'all see that?
Yeah. Mhm.
But this is really not a good illustration because the dark one should be spread apart and it's clumped together. The light one should be clumped together.
Mhm.
Okay, so you see the basal layer and you see the melanocyte right here producing the melanin. But we have these in every layer. White people only have it at the bottom layer. And these are some of the injuries or problems that people have. But is this clear?
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
I think
So if
in
you really
Israel,
want to know if somebody's
you
white,
guys-
you do a skin biopsy. The white person will have skin that doesn't have melanin in every layer. So the point is, you can't really say who's white and who's not
right,
by looking at them.
right.
Excuse me. Okay. So where is that? Yeah, I get really, I don't like it when I can't find what I'm looking for. They keep changing things up on the internet where it's here today and gone tomorrow.
Mhm.
But I got this one really good image that's like really clear. Excuse me.
I'm gonna have to say goodnight, guys. I gotta still take my dogs out and it's late, so.
Okay, Terry, good night. Good
Good
to
night.
see
Have a
you.
good
Thanks for
Shalom,
coming.
Terry. Have a good night.
Hello, Mama.
All right, yeah. So I don't see the picture that I usually use. It's real clear. But anyway, I guess the point was made. So I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed the class.
It was a great class tonight, man. Very good. From the start to the finish. I
Okay.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you. So we're gonna do this again tomorrow, same time?
Yeah,
So we said 6:30 Central, right?
yeah. 7:30 Eastern.
Eastern. If I don't make it at that 6:30 point, I may have a couple of things. Well, actually, tomorrow I'm gonna be here in the morning. Yeah, I actually I should be able to. We'll see what I can do. But at some point, I will jump on.
Okay.
Okay.
Dr.
Let's see
Yusapa,
what
please
I'll be here.
send me the link.
Say it again. Oh,
Please. Yeah.
wait a minute. Say it again, Jimmy. I didn't hear you.
Please get to send me the link.
No, I got you.
No, I'm talking about for the class tomorrow night.
Oh, so he can sign in.
Because Dr. Yusapa, I ended up getting on, Linda actually forwarded me a link because when I try to get to the link from the other day you sent, it's telling me the host is in another class.
Oh, really? Okay. So let me do that now.
Yes, please.
Hold on one second. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna turn the recording off.
Yeah.